Alright guys, we're gonna be talking about Obi-Wan episode 4. So let's get into episode 4. So in episode 4, so at the end of episode 3, it ends with Reva um, basically taking Leia from the rendezvous point. Alright, so in episode 4, it kind of shows at the beginning, it shows Reva basically like interrogating Leia, and she's trying to figure out, okay, this network of the rebels, the enemy of the Empire. I need you to tell me where it is. As if Leia, who was just kidnapped a few days ago, would know the network of rebel fighters. I'm not sure where she's getting that from, but for some reason she thinks Leia knows all the intricate plans and hideouts and everything like that. But allegedly Leia knows, so that's kind of weird. But she's like, yeah, I need to know where it's at. Leia is like, no, I'll never tell you. So basically, Reva she takes her um, to like a torture chamber. Well, that's kind of later, but basically, she's kind of locked up, and so she's basically put in isolation until later, till they can torture her to death or torture her for information. And so Obi-Wan he's with the girl, he's with a couple rebels. So also I forgot to mention the last episode, the reason they got off of that mining planet was because there was this and it was an inside job. This galactic empire, she was like working for the rebellion, So she secretly despised the empire. She's the one that helped Obi-Wan escape. So in this episode, he's working with her again. They find some other this one dude who was like a pilot or something, and they're like, "We need you to get us to the Mustafar system because that's where Leia's being held on a planet in the Mustafar system." And they're like, "Well, is Darth Vader there?" And they're like, "Huh? Well, we don't think so." So it's like they're gonna try and break into this Imperial base, heavily armored. It's actually a moon. It's like a moon. It's not even a planet. So their base is on the moon. They're trying to find out how they can break into the base and get Leia out. But it's like they don't even know if Vader's there. So that's kind of a big what if. It's like they don't know if Vader's there or not. I mean, I just thought that was really. I thought that was kind of weird. But anyway, this pilot's like, yeah, I can get you there. And so, yeah, they fly to this moon. It's basically like a water moon. So if you think of like Jupiter's moon, Europa, I guess it kind of looks like that, like Jupiter in our solar system. But so they go to this moon. There's this base, this big tower thing. It's sticking out of the water, and obviously they're going to have to try and infiltrate. So the girl turned the Imperial girl turned rebel. Basically, she still has clearance, so she goes in first, and then once she's inside, she opens this little underwater thing so Kenobi can go in. So there's this stormtrooper. He hears something behind this door that he's guarding. So he opens it, he looks around, and Kenobi comes out and he kind of knocks him out. And instead of like taking his stormtrooper armor and putting it on to blend in, because I think that's what they did in the original trilogy when they were sneaking around. I don't know if they were sneaking around the Death Star, but it's been a while. But they basically, they wore stormtrooper armor to blend in. But Kenobi didn't do this. I definitely thought he should have. I thought he was going to. So he knocks the guy out, and he's sneaking around, and everyone's, there are like surveillance droids and stuff like that. So he's sneaking around. He's trying to find Leia. The girl with the Imperial forces. Basically, she's kind of guiding him. She went to this station and she's like, "Okay, Leia's here. You need to go here." And it's pretty convenient. Um, well, luckily he had somebody to help him, but it is pretty convenient that he found her um, the torture chamber because she was about to be tortured by Reva at this time. And so he's like, "I need a distraction." And so she goes and she's like to Reva, "Yeah, I can't wait," or whatever. And she takes her to this room. She bullshits a little bit just so Obi-Wan can go in there. So Obi-Wan goes in there. He takes out these clones. It's kind of really weak choreography because it's like the lightsaber, like he doesn't really cut through the clones. It kind of bounces off of them. And so he gets Leia out of the torture chamber, and then he escapes that room, and then he rendezvous again with the rebel girl who's been helping him this whole time, and basically he gets like one of their outfits. So he puts a like a cloak on, and he has Leia under his coat, like his trench coat, and they're walking basically back to like the landing area where basically more ships will be coming into the base. And it's just like, it's like, that's not suspicious at all. You know, nobody sees the little kid tucked away under his trench coat. Like, I guess these stormtroopers, I mean, they're, it's like you're so bored, you would probably be looking out for something to do on that base. But no, they didn't notice it. Reva realizes that she's been duped and she's yelling, "Kenobi, blah, 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 blah." So the stormtroopers start firing. And yeah, so there's this little battle that ensues. Obviously, the stormtroopers, it's kind of just like this ongoing joke that the stormtroopers can never hit a target. It's kind of like a meme at this point, and that's pretty much true because they're shooting at Kenobi, the one girl, and Leia, and nothing really happens. They're easy able to evade the gunfire and get to the basically the edge where the two pilots come in. And then there's just this scene where Reva is like, she starts running towards them, and it's just like the choreography, the action is just like bad. It looks like she's running so slow, like it doesn't look like she's up for the task. And then the blaster fire from the ship, she starts to deflect some of it, but that just looks awful. And yeah, so obviously Kenobi and company, they get away, and it's like, well, it seemed like too easy of an escape. You know, this is supposed to be a heavily guarded, you know, Imperial base. You know, and actually Vader is there because, you know, this is probably my favorite scene because Vader, he comes storming down the hallway, and then he comes into the room with Reva and he starts force choking her, and he's like, you know, "I will tolerate your failure no longer," or something like that. So he starts to choke her, and she's like, "I put a tracker on their ship because earlier Leia's droid tries to attack Reva, and so she puts a tracker on the droid, but it was unbeknownst to her that there was a rescue plan for Kenobi, so that didn't really make a lot of sense. But anyway, that happened. And so she's trying to get in Darth Vader's good graces, and she's like, "Yes, now they'll lead us to everything because there's a tracker on the ship." You know, Darth Vader's not really known to show mercy to a lot of people. I thought that was pretty strange. But overall, it was, I mean, it was it was definitely disappointing. I definitely expected more. The whole, you know, infiltrating the base and getting Leia out, that was way too easy. Everything was just way too easy. The choreography and the action was just lame and just kind of cheap looking, like low budget looking, and you know, just didn't really Nothing really seemed to have any real like good choreography and stunts behind it. And so basically, that's the end of the episode. They escape, and at this point, we're thinking, well, now Darth Vader is going to know where Kenobi is, so they'll meet again because there was a tracker on a ship. So that was episode 4. Um, I didn't think it was like a really good episode. Everything was super convenient and just really not impressive. But anyway, that's my review for episode 4.